I don't think that dwelling on the past, ruminating constantly about the past and going back to the past very often, I don't think it's benefiting me that much. I don't think I got much use of it. I mean, sure, you have to remember your past to remember how far you've come and to appreciate where you are right now when you look at your journey, you know. I think that being stuck in the past is harmful. So there should be some sort of balance. I'm kind of sick and tired of the past as a concept, as a mental concept, not just of my own personal past and the shit I have to live with and the memories I have to live with, but just the past as a concept. The past can be useful to derive data and come to conclusions and, you know, just learn lessons that will help you further in life. There are loops and patterns that keep repeating that, you know, one simply doesn't break. And you can't realize and you can't figure out for the life of you what's it gonna take to break a particular pattern, to evolve, and to not be stuck anymore in a particular pattern of behavior and habits, etc. So I have noticed that for certain shortcomings, I always go back to the past thinking, you know, if only I had made a different choice. If only I had done something different. My life right now would be so much better. I mean, it would be different, but you can't know if it would be better. Maybe it would be worse. I mean, what do you have to compare it against? You can only compare it to what you have now, where you are now, your current circumstances. What do we base that assumption upon? That assumption that if you had made a different choice in your past, that you would be in a better state right now. You would be in a different one, that's for sure, but would you be in a better one? I mean, it's relative. Really, you can't know. I might start changing my mindset, just start focusing on the future more than I'm focusing on the past, because I can't do anything about the past, and it's just not worth it to keep thinking if only this, if only that. I gotta use the past to extract valuable information and realize, all right, I've learned some things, gained experience, which has helped me. I'm not saying my past has not helped me. It has. You know, it's made me who I am today. And if I am satisfied with who I am, then I have nothing to say about my past in a negative way. I know that through the present moment, I make the future come true. And the only way is forward, really. You know, I can't afford it to always look back. Sometimes reflecting, yes, it's good to see where, you know, what you've been through and where you're at right now and how much progress you've made. Because if you don't look back every once in a while, you might get the impression that you're stuck. But I really think that is just now the future is much, much more valuable to me. I will use my past experience to work in the present to achieve the future that I have envisioned for myself. That's what I'm gonna do. So I will not be neglecting the past entirely, but I will not allow myself to live in the past anymore and to be stuck in it. You can be, and you most likely are, a completely different person. It's just that you keep relating yourself to the past versions of you. So I want to be more optimistic as well. You know, the future is uncertain, so it can cause, when you think about it, it can cause a lot of anxiety. But I think we are in control of our perception of the future. You know, you can't live in the future, obviously, just like you can't live in the past. You can only live in the now, in the present. But it's through this now, it's through the present moment that you get to work on your future. Because you can't work on your past, right? You can't delete it. You can't really forget it. In most cases, you just got to live with your past, whereas the future is promising. Really is. I mean, it's an infinite potential, infinite possibilities, so to say, if you believe that there are infinite possibilities in the future. If you don't, you'll just, limit your mindset, you'll limit your beliefs, you'll limit yourself to only a couple of, paths that you can take. I think living with regrets can be painful. I don't want to live with regrets. I don't think I've wasted a lot of my life. I think I've gained a lot of valuable experience and learned a lot of valuable lessons. If in 5 years' time, when I look back on this moment, on this period, I don't want to have regrets. I don't want to think, could have done more, I should have done more. One of the most difficult thoughts to live with for me is what if? What if I had started earlier? What if I had quit some habits earlier? What if I had focused on this or that earlier? What if? Where would I be? I mean, divine timing, I believe, is real. You're always where you're supposed to be, and things are always happening, especially in the grand scheme of things. Things are always happening when they are supposed to happen. So I want to make sure that I use every day as much as I can to get closer to my goals, to work on myself, to fulfill myself, so that in the future, looking back, I won't have too many regrets. Sure, I'll have some, but I don't want to wish that I could go back in time and change something. I keep finding myself trapped in a loop of just thoughts of regret and stuff like that. So it's not a nice feeling. And I don't want to be stuck in certain thoughts anymore. Being hopeful, being patient helps. We have to remain optimistic as much as we can. Remain optimistic about the future. The future is bright. Focus on the future. Only the future matters. So to quote a famous philosopher, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. That would be what I wanted to talk about today. Life can only be understood backwards, so looking back on your life, realizing what got you here and what you've been through and what you've learned and how it all shaped you. But you must live it forward. You must go forward. And that's the only way you can live. You can't go back, neither physically nor mentally nor emotionally. The only way is forward. And I think that idea should actually be liberating. There's no point in staying in the past and living there. We gotta look towards the future.